There, fifth grade violas. Today we're going to be learning one of the orchestra songs that Mrs. Schmid put together for you in your packet of music that was sent home with that very first folder or packet of homeschool work. If you didn't get it or you lost it, need another copy, please just email me or Mrs. Schmid and we'll be happy to mail home another set of music for you. So today we're going to be doing the song Shortnin. And before you do anything else, I actually want you to take your pencil and I would like you to number the lines here. So right along the side here, I have number 1, so line 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6. That's going to help us identify different parts of the music and where some of the music's actually exactly the same. So go ahead and do that real quick. Pause this video if you need to. But again, number 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, write down your page for every line of music. All right, so here we go. So this song, you might be like, oh my gosh, this is such a long song. I've never played so many notes in my life. Here's the sneaky part of Shortnin. It's only 2 lines of music. That's all it is. Otherwise, it just repeats itself over and over and over. So let's get right to it. Right away on line 1, let's start off with our first couple notes. So the first note on line 1, measure 1, is your open D. You've been playing that forever now, so that one's nice and familiar. The next 2 notes are your B, first finger on the A string, right? And if you notice that those 2 Bs are barred together, remember those are called eighth notes. If you haven't gotten to that point yet, don't worry about it. We'll talk about that counting later on. But the D plus those 2 Bs, that makes our blueberry rhythm that we have been working on for a long time now. So those notes together will sound like this. And if you notice, what I do is I get my finger ready right away on the A string. So it's called preparing your finger. So even though I'm starting on an open D, my first finger is ready to go on that A string so I don't have to fumble or think about putting it down. All right, so one more time, let's do that blueberry D, B, B. Ready? Here we go. All right, after that, just lift up your B to an open A string and then put it back down for one more B. And when you do the whole measure together, it creates the rhythm blueberry muffin. So it's going to sound like this. Okay, so open strings with the first finger, not too hard. Go over that as many times as you need to until you can get that ready. And then when you're ready to go on, measure 2 are exactly the same notes, but we're taking out the berry, the 2 eighth note Bs, and just playing 1 B instead. So measure 2 is all quarter notes, all the same speed, starting again on D, B, A, back to B. Okay, so one more time it sounds like this. Okay, so after that, once you're comfortable with measure 2, go back to the beginning and let's try those first 2 measures all together. All right, so here's measure 1 and 2 without stopping. 1, 2, and ready, play. Okay, so now measure 3 is exactly the same as measure 1. So look how easy that is. All the way back to measure 1 is exactly the same notes, exactly the same rhythms. So you know that already. Let's do the very last measure. So the last measure, you know your F sharp on the D string, F, then go down the scale to E, and then down the scale to open D. So 3 notes going down on the D string. Go ahead and try that with me. So F sharp, E, D. And then remember that little squiggly guy at the end, that's a quarter rest. So you have 1 beat of silence at the end. Okay, so again, find any of those parts that might be a little tricky, practice those a few more times. And when you're ready, let's play this whole first line together without stopping. All right, here we go. Line 1, 1, 2, and ready, play. parts. Remember, one of our techniques in learning music is breaking things down into smaller pieces. We call it chunking, right? So for example, at the very end of that line before that F sharp, maybe you're struggling to get to that F sharp after playing the B. So play the B and the F sharp a couple times together until that feels comfortable, and you can do that without having to think about it too hard. And then maybe back up one note to the A. Do that a couple times, and then of course add a few more notes until you can play that whole part without stopping. Okay, so there is line 1. Now, here's the cool thing. If you know line 1, you know line 2, you know line 5, and you know line 6. That's all the same line of music. Every one of those lines, 1, 2, 5, 6. So the first 2 lines and the last 2 lines. So that means we only have one other melody line to learn. So find line 3. So line 3, we're going to start on our high D, 3rd finger on the A string. Then we're going to skip down to our B 1st finger, and then you have your open A. All right, so again it goes high D, B 1st finger, then your open A. Now if you look at the rhythm in this measure, we have quarter note, and then a half note. And if you remember, a half note gets 2 beats, right? So you have to hold it out for 2 counts with a nice long bow. So let's try that measure now with the right rhythm. 1, 2, ready, play. 1, 2. So you want to make sure you count to 2 for those half notes. The next measure is exactly the same as the first measure. So you just do that 2 times in a row. Let's give that a try and make sure you're counting to 2 for your half notes. All right, here's the beginning of line 3. Ready, play. 1, 2. 1, 2. Now, of course, during that open A, you want to have all your 3 fingers ready to go so you can just set them all down, that set hand position, ready for the next measure. All right, so we did measure 1, measure 2. Now measure 3, it starts off exactly the same as the beginning of that line, but as you can see, it's all quarter notes, right? So we're going to go high D, B, A, but now we're going to continue on down to the D string. Here's your 3rd finger G, keep going down the scale, F sharp, E, open D. All right, so again, it starts like the beginning, but then it's just a D scale. So again, do any part of that you need to over and over. And when you're ready, let's do all of line 3 without stopping. Here we go. So starting on your high D, 3rd finger, ready, and 1, 2. 1, 2. Rest. All right, so I promised you there's only 2 lines of music, right? So that line we just learned, it's exactly the same as line 4. So that is all of Shortnin bread. Now when you're ready, after you've gone through each of those measures and each of those lines, that might take a couple days, don't worry about doing this all in one day, we can go back and try playing it from the beginning all the way to the end without stopping. Okay, so when you're ready, here we go. Starting from the very beginning all the way to the end. So again, watch out for the quarter rests, stay with me, hang on to your half notes for 2 beats each, and here we go. 1, 2, and ready, play. Line 2. excellent job. That's a lot to do all in one song. All right, so as always, if you are struggling with anything, if you have any questions, anything's wrong with your instrument, please email me or Mrs. Schmid, and we'll do everything we can to help you.